has planned for Jamaica. We would love to find out where you are checking in from. So go ahead and let us know in the chat. And also invite your friends, let them know that, especially those who are in tech, in a career in tech, let them know that the conversation has started. This is our final webinar before we close off on the applications. So we'd love to hear from all of you. So let your friends know who are in your class that, our session has started, and we would love to hear from them. So my name is Shanake Wright Vaughn. I am lead for youth and education programs at the JN Foundation, and it is my pleasure to moderate a lovely conversation about our next big idea. Do you have the next big idea? Well, that's what we're here to find out this evening. We have a lovely panel of guests who will walk us through some information. And but before we get all of that done, I'd love to know where you're checking in from. So let us know in the chat. I would love to hear from you. Where are you checking in from? Are you from a particular school? Are you from a company that you can mention? Go ahead and let us know in the chat where you're checking in from. All right, so while we wait on you to do that, let's just get started with some of the details. So if you're a Jamaican in Jamaica who has long aspired to have an impact locally or globally through tech, then you're in the right place at this right time. This webinar is about an amazing opportunity to expose your work and talent while highlighting the incredible work done by a local and regional company in partnership with a global change maker. Now, this organization is pretty huge, and it's a part of what's our next big idea. So Microsoft Leap as a service, this is your opportunity to showcase your talent and to hone your capacity to be a leader in tech. Being offered for the very first time in the Americas, meaning it's the first time in the Caribbean region, it's the first time in this side of the globe, in partnership with our region's leading tech firm, MC Systems. And as you know, MC Systems is a part of our JN Group family, a leading tech firm in the JN Group. Microsoft Leap will be offering 15 candidates from Jamaica the chance to sharpen their software development and innovation skills. With the support too from the JN Foundation, tertiary students and professionals with a background in technology, like yourself, who is joining now and who is now also telling your friends and your colleagues to tune in, you could become a part of a team that has been using technology for positive change. Positive change. Now remember that. We're offering you a platform to make an impact with your ideas as we aim to change lives and build communities. This evening, we have an expert team from Microsoft Leap. Yes, the team is here. We will have a presentation from one member of the team, but we have some other members in the chat who are ready and willing to answer your questions. Since 2015, Microsoft Leap has been changing many lives, from stay-at-home parents interested in re-entering the workplace to people ready for a second act. Still waiting to hear from some persons who may be looking for a second act, right? So let us know in the comments. Oh, I am just seeing a note here. Someone mentioned that the chat is disabled. So if my tech team could assist with that, we'd really appreciate it. So you guys are checking in, man. I like it. Thank you so much, Deborah, for bringing that to our attention. So our team members will work on that, so you guys can tell us where you're checking in from. All right, so while we work on that, let me just continue with our quick overview. So as I mentioned, this opportunity is in partnership with MC Systems. It's being offered to you to shed, this session today is being offered to shed some light on the program and all that you will gain from it. Now, applications did start on June 6th, and they will close this Tuesday, June 27th. So there's still some amount of time for you to wrap up, get all the information in this evening session, and to then put your application in, and to also tell somebody else to put their application in. Mind you, that person must be an ideal candidate, right? Now, this is your session, so the floor is yours to ask your questions. I'm sure the chat will be disabled shortly. You can go ahead and drop your questions in the chat, or you can use our Q&A option. Now, as we, just to confirm that the chat is now, yes, awesome. Thank you so much for confirming, Olivia. All right, so again, go ahead and let us know where you're checking in from in the chat, and so that we can acknowledge you accordingly. Now, as we move through this session, as I mentioned, we will be taking your questions. We also have some questions already looking at what we would have seen from our previous sessions. And what we want you to know this evening is that we want to answer everything. So no question is stupid, no question is foolish. Go ahead and ask the question, because we want it to be clear as to what you're applying for and why you should apply and why you should tell somebody else to apply as well. So at this time, I will go ahead and introduce our MC Systems General Manager, Mr. Dwayne Russell, who will bring us a few words. Over to you.
Thank you, Shana K. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. 2023 is a special year for MC Systems. The reason being, we're celebrating 50 years, guys, and 50 years as a premier technology solutions provider right here in Jamaica. For 50 years, we have been improving the lives of persons within Jamaica and across the Caribbean through technology. And guess what? There is no end in sight. Some of the ways that we have changed lives that you may not know based on, I guess, the age of the persons joining, but things that you do day to day, for example, walking into retail stores and paying with your credit card, that convenient swipe or tap at a credit card. Guess what? MC Systems was the first to bring that technology to Jamaica, to the banks, through the banks, to ensure that customers and merchants have an excellent experience in paying for goods and services. And the rest is history. We continue to innovate in that space. We also looked at, for those of you who have this experience in terms of remittances and getting access to those remittances before. It was years ago, it was not as seamless as it was. And MC Systems was the one who changed that game, changed that landscape against the big boys like Western Union and MoneyGram. Your Jamaican technology company was the first to use internet technology to make sending money real time. And that led to a infamous statement or tagline that as you quint, it reach. Okay, so now it's standard. Now Western Union, these big global guys and MoneyGram, they have to ensure that once funds are sent, you have access to that in real time. Another way recently that we have changed how you handle your cash, we were the ones who introduced smart ATMs to the landscape. We were the first. And what we saw was, we hate standing in line just to get cash and deposit cash. And we changed that game, and the rest is history. All right, so we have lots more to come down the path, which I'm sure our innovation team will share with you. But in celebrating our 50 years, we decided, what is this breakthrough contribution that we could give back to Jamaica? And we went back to our history, and I'm sure most of you did not realize this, that MC System was the first partner for Microsoft in the English-speaking Caribbean. So we were the one who brought Microsoft here before Microsoft is now the global leaders, right? They were right here with us. And we reached out to Microsoft and asked, how can we contribute? And what was proposed is Leap service. And that just stuck with us because we're always about developing people. And the Leap service allow us to bring to you the opportunity to experience world-class training and mentorship. World-class, meaning it doesn't get any better than this. All right, that's what it means. And also, at the end of it, you would have transformed your tech career. All right, so we really do appreciate Microsoft investing in Jamaica, likewise us. and the opportunity is so great. There's so much we can do with this opportunity. And guess what? Even further, this webinar is about you sharing with us ideas that we want to spend our time with Microsoft to actualize. Let's contribute your ideas to see how you can help us in celebrating 50 years to change the lives, to once again, change lives, improve lives here in Jamaica. So thanks, get those ideas rolling and sign up for those of you who have a tech career, and good luck. All right, thanks, Shanaka.
All right, great. So you were just charged. Sign up, get the ideas in, and good luck. So we're going to ask one of the team members to go ahead and drop the link for the registration and the application details in the chat. So, some of you may already hear about the program. You already heard about the program, and you don't want to hear everything else that we're saying. No, you're just ready to go ahead. So we'll ask that one of our team members drop that link in the chat, and you can go ahead and start your application. So as we move through, just wanted to acknowledge in our audience some team members from Microsoft Leap, from our MC Systems, as well as from JN Foundation. You would have heard me mention earlier about, why we're gathered here, and it's because of MC Systems, and it's because of Microsoft Leap, and also because of JN Foundation, right? So wanted to just acknowledge real quickly. Our general manager from the JN Foundation, Miss Claudine Allen, as well as Yolanda Natal Santos, I'm working on my Spanish there, who is from Microsoft Leap. And we will get into the full introductions in just a minute. And this is what happens when you run ahead of your script, right? So let me get back into my script. All right, so remember, you can go ahead and post your questions in the chat. Now, you just heard the charge of why we're here and the excitement that is 50 years of MC Systems. Let us move now into why Microsoft Leap. So Yolanda Natal Santos is the Senior Business Program Manager with Microsoft Leap. She is actually an alumnus of the very first Microsoft Leap cohort. Now, she has been with the program since its inception, so she knows everything about it, and she knows all the good stuff that you want to hear, right? And her goal now is to really focus on the expansion of the program by both the disciplines and our geographic locations. And as I mentioned earlier, this is the first time it's coming across in the Americas. So this is something that we should celebrate, and it's a very big deal. So over to you now, Yolanda.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we're hearing you.
Awesome. Thank you. It's a real pleasure to be here, introducing you to this great opportunity that we have in partnership with MC Systems. So allow me a few minutes to tell you a little bit about myself, and then I'll tell you about the program. As was mentioned, I am an alumni in the very first cohort. I had worked for Microsoft previously, then decided to become a stay-at-home mom, and had about a 10-year gap in my resume. So it was really difficult to get back into the workforce with such a large gap. But through Microsoft Leap, I was able to onboard back at Microsoft, and I've been back since, and I haven't looked back. So I'm not just a staff member, but I'm also an alumni, so I can testify as to the impact of this program in my life as well as my family. So with that said, let me tell you a little bit about the program, because that's really what you came here to learn about. Can we have the next slide? Okay. So the program here was founded, as was mentioned, in 2015 as a way of augmenting our own workforce, addressing future skills and build digital skills at Microsoft. Because we're a software engineering company, most of our focus in the first few pathways were really focused on the engineering space, and we successfully were able to bring individuals like myself or individuals who have a certificate in software engineering rather than a degree through the Microsoft program, and we were successful for a number of years. And then when we were in Nigeria, we realized that the need to augment our talent pipeline and become more diverse and more inclusive wasn't necessarily something that it was just Microsoft related, but it could also benefit our partners. So based on that, in Nigeria, we launched Leap as a service, which is really focused on building, sourcing and developing candidates for the tech ecosystem for our partners. And this is where we have our partnership in Jamaica. And once we had a number of successful cohorts, we wanted to expand. We truly believe that talent is equally just not talent. Opportunities are equally, well, let me stop in there because I can't remember the quote, but I think the quote goes, talent is equally distributed, but opportunities are not. Thank you for your patience for that. So with that, we built this program and wanted to expand outside of Nigeria. And I am so delighted that we were able to partner with MC Systems. So here we are. Next slide, please. So who are our candidates? Typically, we're looking for individuals like myself who are career launchers. They were maybe in tech and had to pause their career to take care of family or raise a family. And now when they want to get back into the workforce, it becomes a little bit more difficult because of the gap in their resumes. Or maybe this is a second career for you. Maybe you had a career in biotech, you were a photographer, you had something else. And those great business acumen, those great skills can now maybe be transferable to something like software engineering. So a large majority of our candidates tend to want software engineering. Tech, for example, is a second career for them. They may go to a boot camp, they may take courses online, they may go to their local vocational or community college to get that initial learning of software engineering. So they have earned a certificate rather than a computer science degree. And then the third profile that we typically source is that community college or that vocational school candidate who may have a 2-year degree rather than a typical 4 or 6-year university candidate, university degree. Next slide, please. So this is the typical question that we get is, what exactly is this program? It's an opportunity to have both an educational component as well as on the job. And we start with the interview. If you're invited to interview, there's 2 45-minute interviews. And from that, we'll select our candidates. There's going to be for about 4 weeks of onboarding. You'll be assigned pre-work. There's going to be a vendor company who's involved and will help you with some of the employment documentation. And then you get to start the classroom. That's a structured learning environment, is instructor-led online, but you get to learn some basics on computer science fundamental, engineering best practices, but equally as important is really building a community, getting to know other people like you who are going through a similar program. And when you do this, you're not alone. You have all of the Microsoft Leap behind you. Then after you finish your 4 weeks of training with us, classroom, then you get to do the 12 weeks of on-the-job learning. This is a time where you're going to be embedded with a team at MC Systems, learning about MC Systems and how to work software and develop, and you'll get a project that's assigned to you. You work with a lead and a mentor, and then you give them an opportunity to see your body of work. And it's also an opportunity for you to assess how well this works for you between the organization and how it works for you as well as MC Systems. And then afterwards, there may be an opportunity, you may be asked to interview for a full-time position. And these positions are with MC Systems as software engineer. And there's going to be a little bit of an offboarding time as well. Next. So for this particular role, we're looking for software engineers. So we're looking for individuals who have recently graduated from the university, have a 4-year degree, and they're within 1 year of that CS degree. Or maybe you went to those boot camps I mentioned before, or the vocational schools, or there's a plethora of online courses that you've taken and you have certain certificates, maybe a Microsoft certificate. However, you got that that learning, we're expecting that you would come with some baseline before you apply for the program. Next. And then again, we are looking for talented software engineers to come into to this program with the idea of a potential job, a full-time job with MC Systems. As was mentioned, the application portal has already been open for a while. It's closing a week from today, June 27th, I believe at 6:59 your time. But do double check that on the website. And if I ask the LEAP team to please put that on the chat to confirm that. The classroom will start August 28th. You'll have 4 weeks with us, but the cohort will end on December 15th. So that's where you get the 16 weeks. And again, I just want to reiterate, we're looking for individuals who've either graduated from an academy or a boot camp vocational school or recently completed their university courses and have their degree in CS. We welcome self-taught. We have many candidates who are self-taught or have a certificate. But key to this is you must be physically located in Jamaica and authorized to work in Jamaica. This is about, I'm from a neighboring island in Puerto Rico. We have similar issues with brain drain. So we want to make sure that the talent that we bring are for Jamaica in Jamaica. So that's really important for this particular cohort. Next. So we invite you, short and sweet, we invite you to take the leap. We ask you to follow us on social media, but more importantly, go to our site, our website, and make sure you look through the eligibility requirements. And once you're familiar with the program, please apply. We encourage you to apply. We look forward to reviewing your application. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Yolanda. So while we await, all the wonderful questions to come in, I will go ahead and pull on one that I saw, which was speaking to the fact that you've come into Jamaica. Why did you come to Jamaica with this particular opportunity?
It's some of what I mentioned, where we truly believe that talent is really equally distributed, but opportunities are not. And in the age now where we have a lot of opportunities remotely for some individuals, we didn't necessarily want to focus just the talent in, let's say, in the United States or in some other places. The Caribbean, much like I said, we have in Puerto Rico, like in Jamaica, brain drain. So let's bring that talent here. We know we have talented individuals on our islands. Let's bring our talents for them to work there. And we know that with work and the idea of work, it doesn't just impact us and the companies we work for. It has an impact to our family and our community at large. And so we're lifting up more than just the individual by offering them economic mobility. So.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for that. And another question. So as it relates to the training and the learning program that you mentioned, is there a scheduled time of the day for these trainings?
Yes, we're gonna have a what are called sort of office hours. We'll start at a certain time and then end. There's a lot of project-based learning that you'll have, and so you'll have individual groups that you're going to be together, and that's an individual group that decides what the time is. And so it's typically, we'll say 9 to 3 or 9 to 4, depending on the area.
Okay, all right, no problem. And another one, in terms of certifications, what do I get after completing this program?
Yes, it's a great question. There is a certificate that we provide for each of the participants who graduate from the program.
All right, excellent. So I know in Jamaica, we love to show that we did. So that certificate does come into play to say that, hey, I got this and my name is on a certificate. So thank you so much. I see, well, we have now, our team members are leaving the details for the application in the chat. So we'd love for you to just go ahead and click on the link. As Yolanda mentioned, you'll see the criteria. There will be a breakdown of, there are some FAQs as well. So as much information as you need is all there. And as our conversation goes on now, if you see something that you're not familiar with, you can go ahead and let us know via the Q&A or via the chat. All right, thanks again, Yolanda.
May I
Yes,
add
go ahead.
one more thing? For those of you who are going to apply, your resume tells me a lot about your experience. Your 2 essays are going to tell me about your passion. They're equally as important. You're applying for a software engineering role. Please put your repository on your resume so we can see your code. And then don't be afraid, again, when making sure you look at all the requirements, but make sure you complete all the entire application. But don't be afraid to bring your best self in those essays, because that passion is equally as important as some of your experience. So just tips of advice.
Lovely. So they've just gotten some interview tips, and also the application tips as well. So
yeah.
Going beyond just sharing about the application, but how is it that you stand out? So we love to see it on paper in your resume. We want to see it in the portfolios and everything, but we also want to see the personality, the experience, and the overall talent come alive through the essays and then through the interviews. And so that works, right? So thanks again, Yolanda. Now, Yolanda and team will be sticking around. So again, if you have your questions, we ask that you go ahead and let us know via Q&A or in the chat. All right. So we should now be looking at a video coming up from another team member from Microsoft Leap, and just listen into what she has to say. And again, if you have any questions, let us know in the chat.
I am here today to announce that we are less than 1 week away from the closing of our software engineer opportunity with MC Systems. That's right. There are only a few days left to apply for this paid contracted opportunity with MC Systems in Jamaica. As a reminder, we are looking for entry-level software engineers who reside in and who are authorized to work in Jamaica. This opportunity is virtual and will comprise of 4 weeks in a virtual classroom where you're learning and ramping up on tools and fundamentals related to engineering. Once those 4 weeks have concluded, you will then spend 12 weeks in an actual software engineering role, right? You're going to work on a real software engineering project with MC Systems. There may even be an opportunity for you to convert to a full-time employee at MC Systems. So exciting at the end of the cohort. So when does this cohort start? Well, this cohort will begin on August 29th and will end on December 15th. I hope we see you in our applicant pool. Spread the word to your friends, your family, your loved ones. This is an exciting opportunity that you do not want to miss.
As she said, Nicole said it, it's a great opportunity. You do not want to miss it, right? And still not seeing any more questions in the chat. So we'll just go ahead with the conversation, right? So we'd have heard from Yolanda. We heard about the exciting opportunity that it is. And she also shared from her personal experience as to why it's such a wonderful program. Now, let's come back home a bit to MC Systems. What is MC Systems about? Who is the team that you'll be interacting with? And what do they have to say about their own internal internship programs that they've had over the years? Reminder that this is the first time that Microsoft Leap as a service is coming to Jamaica in partnership with MC Systems. However, MC Systems would have been doing and dealing with other interns over the past few years. You will hear from one such intern in just a bit. But before we get to her, we just want to acknowledge that Nathaniel Nation is our software development manager at MC Systems. He's devoted to nurturing new talent in the software engineering field by ensuring continuous innovation and growth. Now, Nathaniel will be one of the key persons that you will be interacting with during the on-the-job training, right? So, Nathaniel, you're up first in terms of my questions to our MC Systems team. And I want to know, in terms of that immersive on-the-job experience, what are some of the areas or the mix of talent that Microsoft Leap as a service will attract for MC Systems? What's the mix of talent that you're looking for? Nathaniel?
Hi, greetings. You can hear me?
Yes, we're hearing you.
Right. So, we're looking for persons who are, evening, everyone. So we're looking for persons who are passionate about software development, right? So it doesn't really matter which particular software language that that passion. So Yolanda would have mentioned, you want to share those coding scripts that you'd have done. We would like to see it because, of course, we want to be able to, understand and know and, where it is that you're coming from in terms of your knowledge base thus far. And of course, it's from Jamaica, so we're expecting persons across the island from, what do you call it now? From Kingston all the way to Montego Bay and from Hanover, Westmoreland. But definitely we know that there's skill across the island and we're looking for persons who are very, very passionate about software development.
All right, great. So the passion is another word that's coming through again, right? So they have to be quite passionate about software development. And so Noel asks again, another one, in terms of the participants, what should they expect from that on-the-job experience with MC Systems?
Right, so some of the things that you can expect is working along with our team of developers who have been doing software development for many years. And they're very certified, highly certified, with different stacks, right? Recently we'd have team members would have gone ahead and become DevOps expert, Azure DevOps experts, as well as Azure solutions architect, right? So we have a team of individuals who are very skilled, talented, and interestingly, Anna, who we hear from earlier, who's also one of our Azure DevOps expert. So we're big on growth. So you can expect persons who you'll be working with who are passionate about growth and development, and they too will be imparting some of that knowledge about learning and growing and being your best self when it comes on to software development and interacting with others and working on a team.
All right, lovely. And I have a question coming in. We speak about the passion and everything, and we speak about who we're looking for, but can this program is this program only open for university or college students, or can persons from Heart NSTA Trust apply? You mentioned persons from all across the island, so they want to know if Heart NSTA Trust can also apply.
100%, because we know that Heart Academy, they offer software development courses, and there are other coding camps that we have within Jamaica where persons would have gone ahead, spend some time learning about software development, as well as there's also online courses that are free that persons would participate. So definitely 100%, once you're in Jamaica or you're using online services and you're learning and you have the skill set to show, you can apply.
Okay, so you mentioned something interesting, that if persons are going on certain websites or certain online learning platforms and are doing these courses, that they can apply by presenting the fact that they've completed these courses, yes? Even if they are free?
That's correct.
Okay, wow. So it means then that you don't have to be spending a lot of big bucks to actually get started on the journey to becoming a software developer. We can tune into those online opportunities. The University of YouTube is one such opportunity that the persons can actually learn from. So once you have some sort of proof that you did the work, then MC Systems and the Microsoft Leap team is definitely looking for you. The next one says, is this program free?
Oh, yes, it is.
Yes. So yes, the program is free, and it continues to say, what if I already have a 9-to-5? What will the schedule be like once accepted?
All right, so for persons who are working, they have a 9-to-5, unfortunately, we want 100% of your time, right? We want all of your time for you to be able to learn and grow and to be very, very impactful with what we're doing. So persons who are working, sadly, it won't work.
All right. So sorry for those ones who are actually in a 9-to-5, and let's see, continue to do those courses, and you never know what may happen in the future. Also, thank you so much, Nathaniel. I will hop on over to another member of our MC Systems team. Catherine Chinsey is from the MC Systems Innovation Unit, the Mad Lab, and she's also the product manager for one of MC Systems' first innovations, BizPay. Now, that payroll processing platform was actually launched 50 years ago. It has been a part of the MC Systems framework. It's literally their DNA, right? And she is now the product manager for that particular area. So congratulations on that wonderful experience of 50 years and continuing to innovate in that particular area. So Kat, over to you. MC Systems is an inclusive tech consultancy company. How does this mandate drive innovation from you and your team?
Good evening, Shanake. Good evening to my fellow panelists. Good morning, good evening, and good night to all of you sharp, talented, creative minds who have connected with us this evening. Thank you for having me. Shana, I've been a part of the MC Systems family for going on 9 years now. And I've been blessed with the opportunity to explore every facet of this organization with people who have such interesting and unique perspectives and experiences, and the most valuable wisdom you could ever live to receive. This place has been the definition of diverse and inclusive for me. When we talk about innovation, we're talking about creating new value, right? We're talking about new ideas, new perspectives, new use cases, new ways of thinking and being. And that's exactly how inclusiveness comes in. Inclusiveness in perspective in relation to gender, age, demographics, education, professional experience, life experience. When you have a team, when you have a diverse team and you create a space for them at the table to include all of these perspectives, you really get to hear the voice of the people. You get to question what is, why it is, and provoke how it could be. And that channel is where you find innovation.
And that's such an excellent way to put it all together. You know, you mentioned something about, you know, the experience too, because I'm trusting that the space is a wonderful learning space, yes? And you said that you have touched all bases that you touch all bases at MC Systems. I won't ask you which area is your favorite, but I will just go ahead and dive into the next question. There was something you mentioned, you know, in terms of across the range of persons who are employed at MC Systems. As you know, there is a conversation about women in tech. What has been the greatest misconception you believe has been related directly to your career and being a woman in tech at MC Systems?
That is only for men. There is no role in tech that I've encountered that a woman hasn't been able to fulfill. IT infrastructure engineer, solutions architect, business analyst, UX design, software engineering, networking. You know, one of my leaders and mentors shares this story. He always recalls this visit that he made to an innovation lab overseas, where he met a woman who was working with a software product team. And in a conversation with this woman, she shared with him that her training and expertise was actually in construction. Like, that's where she started. And after some years, she was inspired to just make a shift to engineering. And here she was standing before him in front of her team, leading this team of engineers, UX designers, developers, winning, right? And also coming from another, I guess, arena of male dominated, you know, and she was like, I don't care. This doesn't matter. I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to do what I feel passionate about. You know, my own career path in tech, even and here at MC Systems, has been quite diverse. I mean, marketing, merchant services, technical support, sales, business analysis, innovation and product design. And here I am today, a product manager, leading a software product team and navigating the world of commerce. I've been really fortunate to never been met with, you can't do this, or this isn't for you. Especially here at MCS, none of my leaders, none of my colleagues, none of this family have ever said, what's she doing here? Or why is she my manager? Why is she leading this conversation? I've always been embraced. I do appreciate that that's not always the case, but I really feel like that is changing and shifting. And at MC Systems, we've had a track record of women in leadership and in tech here. Every woman I know in tech, especially here at MC Systems, has been successful at all levels of the organization. We've had GMs, we've had CTOs, we've had senior managers, we've had engineers. You're all about to meet another one of our very own rising women in tech.
Awesome. And I love that segue into this rising woman in tech. Now, Anna Kate Jones is a software engineer at MC Systems. She's also a graduate, I've termed that term, a graduate of the internal MC Systems internship program. So Anna Kay, Kat spoke so highly about all the exciting things that are happening at MC Systems. But I want to hear from you. What's the culture like for somebody in training? Give us all the tea.
Okay, thank you, Shanake, and good evening, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have started as an intern at MC Systems 4 years ago, straight out of university. And I don't think this is any secrets. University does not prepare you for the real working environment. So being in this internship program really gave me valuable insights into the reality of software development, especially agile software development. I'm sure many persons on the call know that this is the standard in a lot of places, agile development, and in the places that is not, a lot of them are quickly adopting it. So really not a lot of internship programs teach you what it is to be a part of an actual software development team. So I was able to work on a team, and at MC Systems is a place that really wanted to make space for us as interns. So even for those of us that were not as strong in software development, there was a place that they were able to go to. So one of my fellow interns went into quality assurance instead. Another intern went into business analyst work, and they were able to thrive in those areas. So, MC Systems made space for them in that way. And you really don't feel like a bother when you're on a team, when you're working with real teams, because they value your feedback. They ask you, what do you think about this? How can we do this better? Especially as somebody who is young coming in, they're encouraging you to share your feedback and work on that. And honestly, at the end of the internship, it was a fairly seamless transition into the company.
Just to be sure, before your internship ended, did you have that feeling that you would have been, sticking around for 4 years since then?
Definitely.
Definitely. I love that confidence. But why do you think so, though? How has that shaped your career path now? Why do you think that you knew from then that it would have happened?
So since then, I just felt so welcomed and comfortable. As Kat said, you hear a lot of the stories of women, being faced with barriers and being told that you can't do this, you can't do that. I have never, as she said, I've never felt that way here.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, being with MC Systems, I have felt very lucky to work in a space that has allowed me to do valuable work and also feel valued as a person. I've been here for 4 years by choice. It's not for a lack of options. I feel when I'm here, I feel like I have the freedom to grow and develop myself. The company is one that encourages you and provides opportunities for you to do various certifications and trainings. So Nathaniel would have mentioned one of my recent certifications that I got this year. So that I've gotten 2 so far, and that's not including general training, skills training that we do here as well. And I was able to work with my manager to develop a career plan for where I wanted to go. So we were able to build a plan and say, this is where I want to be in X amount of years. What are the steps that I can take to get there? So yeah, I feel comfortable approaching my higher ups about anything from personal development to ideas that I have and things that I want to work on. I can approach Mr. Russell and say, I have this idea for something, and Mr. Russell give me that feedback and say, that's a good idea, or this is something I want you to work on instead that's similar to that. So it's just that comfort that I feel here, that safety, and that encouragement to, continue to grow and develop myself.
Excellent, excellent. So MC Systems definitely sounds like a great place to work. And we love that. We love that for you. And thank you so much for sharing. Now, there was a question in the chat, which I'm going to throw to Nathaniel. Someone was asking, is this done online or in person? So you would have mentioned, that we're accepting applicants all across the island. So they want to know, is it done online or is it in person?
Right. So it's 100% online. So wherever you are, once you have a good internet, right, you can connect and you can join. We'll be using Microsoft Teams. That's the solution that we use in terms of communicating, right? So, and of course, because of the tools and technology that we use, you'll find that out of our tools and technology will be Microsoft. So, I mean, we're partners, and of course, they have really helped us in terms of bringing forward solutions that would really help to make this possible.
All right, great. Thank you so much for your response. So let's hop back into the conversation now. So we're going back to Kat this time. A key focus of the installation with Microsoft Leap as a Service and MC Systems is this opportunity to provide participants to an engineering technology that focuses on social challenges. So some persons may not know, but there is a term called social tech, right? And so now I want you to share with us, what is social tech? Why is there a focus now on social tech from MC Systems?
So Shanna, I mean, everybody, I imagine that most of us have heard of GoFundMe, right? A digital platform that supports crowdfunding for various causes. I mean, GoFundMe has opened up any problem to a huge community, the world, right? To help with a solution. And usually the solution is, we need funding to solve some problem. And that's as simple and as complex as social tech is. It's the application of digital technology to support any challenge that society is facing, that any member of society, any community is facing. MC Systems is all about putting ideas into action and empowering people and business. As proud Jamaicans, we have fortified our focus on that corporate social responsibility element as we celebrate our 50th anniversary and our 50 years in this society and show gratitude. We want to show gratitude to Jamaica, to our communities, for the support that we've received over the years. We want to leverage our resources, our expertise to help relieve those pains and create value in the opportunities in our society for our people, for our ecosystem. One hand wash the other, right?
Awesome. And it sounds good too, because in terms of being on the Mad Lab, and I'm opening your Mad Lab part of your brain now, the social tech components, do you think, or have you seen where some of these will pop up? Anything that could be considered for the program, any ideas or some of the issues that persons would perhaps be looking at while they're on the job?
Shanna, you want me to spill the tea? All right, so for context for everybody who's here, the Mad Lab, or the MAD in Mad Lab, means make a difference. And we are on a mission to make a difference by solving those sticky problems in our community through passion, empathy, and our technical expertise. We've been working with the Jane Foundation, with Shanna, and the Jane Circle chapters. And for those of you who don't know, the Jane Circle chapters are essentially those communities within the different parishes in Jamaica. And it's our Community Connect program, right? It's how we keep connected and touch these people and are able to hear their voices and feel their pains. The Mad Lab has been working with these organizations, with these communities, to apply our human-centered design thinking techniques to identify those sticky problems. We're seeing a lot of challenges in education at every level, from our little minds going to primary school and daycare to our mature minds who are looking for new opportunities and career shifts. Some of it is about access, some of it is about readiness, some of it is about the tools that are available. I mean, the challenges are far and wide. We'd be here all night. I mean, Shanna and I spent 4 hours the other night talking about this with some of our members. And some of the tech that we apply that will become social tech might look like AI in the classroom. It might look like digital platforms to access trainings. It may look like voice and language translation, which Microsoft has a multiple of Azure AI services that we can apply to our platforms to support this, to support communication and engaging people. It might even look like solar solutions to support socialization initiatives in our communities. I don't want to spill too much though, Shanna. So what I'll leave you is that I really hope that the minds that are connected this evening and the ones that continue to be attracted to the Microsoft Leap program are creative, are inspired, they're daring to be different, they're inquisitive, they're hungry for knowledge, and they're thoughtful to help support us in building out these social tech initiatives.
All right, great. So as she said, we'll not be spilling any beans or anything like that, but just want to acknowledge as well JN Circle. As you know, or some of you may not know about JN Circle, but that's where our social tech focus will be on. And as you know, too, the Jane Foundation is happy to be a part of this initiative because everybody's talking about tech. So why not have the tech be social, right? So we have some questions here. So first, questions still coming in for you, Yolanda. Is there an alternative path that you can suggest for those persons who have a 9-to-5 that they could participate in? And is this knowledge being offered in the course valuable? So I'm assuming that they're meaning for the course, meaning the sessions that will happen. Is it valuable? Which, hello, it must be, it's Microsoft, right? Is it valuable? And is there anything else that someone who actually is in a 9-to-5 can actually participate on when it comes on to Microsoft Leap?
Not in this region at this time, but I encourage you to keep growing and learning, going to whether it's a meetup or hackathons or participating in some of the programs that we've already outlined. Continue to grow and learn because it's really important. One of the my favorite stories is about a new father who had 50 some years old and was waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning with the kid for the feeding, and after the baby went to sleep, he was back on in front of the screen, doing some dev work. It's a passion and a dedication, and certainly something that we all understand in different ways. But at this time, it has to be an immersive program. That's what we have for Jamaica. But I encourage you to continue to learn. And I'm sorry we don't have something else to offer you at this time.
At this time indeed. So Nathaniel, does MC System has anything else outside of this particular program, which we've heard is a very immersive program? So we need their full attention. But is there, for those who seem to be 9-to-5ers, is there anything else from MC System that they could participate in?
Right. So at this moment for MC Systems, right, what I would say is that, you have to follow us, keep following us, because at different point in time, we may be doing something along with our Mad Lab, or we may very well be having our, annual internship, and we'll be pretty much seeking persons to join us. And I can tell you with some of the things that we're doing within the Jane group, with Jane Circle, with MC Systems, who knows, something that would be immersive that would also possibly include persons who are doing 9-to-5.
All right, nice. And sticking with you, Nathaniel, am I able to apply as a university student in my final year?
Right. So if you're in your final year and based on what you have to do, right, you may very well have, one course that you're doing. I know the universities tend to be very flexible. If that flexibility allows you to give yourself 100% to the program, by all means. However, if it does not, then it's going to cause a problem. So we'd say no.
All right. So if you're in your final year, let us look at those who have actually completed their exams, I guess, in the last couple of months, and they are not going back to school come this September. And I just wanted to highlight as well that just to note that the Mad Lab community is always ready and willing to accept your ideas and for product design. And Kathy can go ahead and let us know what that is about.
Sure. So the Mad Lab our community is a public one. We're always engaging or finding ways to engage the public because we really want to represent the voice of the people, the voice of our customer, and our customer is ultimately the end user. It's you and me and everybody else in this country, in this world. And so we love when we get lots of perspectives on maybe prototypes we're working on, problems that we see in the world, help with identifying these problems in our communities. So anybody else who would like to be a part of the movement and the journey and be a part of problem identification, product design, social tech initiatives, please shoot us an email at madlab@mcsystems.com, and we would love to engage you and have you be a part of our innovation process.
All right, great. Now, Nathaniel, back to you. Will there be a cohort next year?
All right, so it depends on you know, I guess the interaction that we have now. So, but of course, we always definitely want more and more of this kind of interaction, right? So you'd have to stay tuned with Microsoft Leap and MC System to find out, you know, what's happening next year, right? And who knows, it may not necessarily be software engineering, it may be in another field, because of course at MC Systems, as well as Microsoft, this is about, you know, tech, right? So, you know, whether it's in data, whether it's in infrastructure, who knows, it may be something else, right? But definitely you'd have to keep following us to find out, you know, what's gonna happen next year. I also want to throw in the mix as well. For persons who are applying, you know, would like to recommend that you can use tools such as LeetCode and ramp.com to help you just ramp up on your skills, to learn and to prepare for, you know, the whole, you know, preparation for to be interviewed and stuff like that, right? Another one would be HackerRank, which is very popular as well. But, you know, these are some, you know, tips we're throwing out there to kind of help you get prepared when you apply.
All right, great. So we're not promising anything because we have to get this one started, right? To see how it goes. And that's why we want you and your friends to apply, so that we can also get the details together, right? So I'm not seeing anything else right here. So we'll just go ahead and thank our MC Systems team for their questions. Well, for their answers, because I asked the questions, right? So thank you guys so much. Again, you can go ahead and let us know in the chat or through the Q&A if you have any updates. Now, just to note that these are not sponsored by Microsoft or MC Systems, but former apprentices have found LeetCode and Ramp.com to be very helpful when ramping up on engineering trainings and so on. So I guess we can include that in the entire chat for the team so that persons can see what those elements are. And again, it's madlab@mcsystems.com for persons who are interested in being a part of the MadLab community. So thanks again to the MC Systems team. We will now segue into a video that will be on the screen.
My name is Kyle Hibbert, and I'm a lead developer at MC Systems in the Software Development Services Division. I was recruited through MC Systems through my department at UA. They sent out an email looking for new graduate programmers to enter the MC Systems internship program. So I sent in my resume, and a short interview after that, I entered the program in 2015. My role as an intern at MC Systems was to ramp up on the practices of a mature software developer as quickly as I can, so that I could start to contribute to the projects that we have in-house. MC Systems focuses on quality, not just does it work, but quality is a very important thing. Because that's such an important factor in our software development, they make sure that each intern is equipped with the skills and knowledge in order to contribute quality to the projects that we work on. Moving from the internship to becoming a member of staff, there were a series of assessments that were done during the internship to assess if you've gained the lessons that you should have during the 2 to 3 month period. I didn't really have that much honeymoon period. I was instantly thrown into decades-old solutions and tasked with fixing and developing new features for them. So it was very hands-on from the get-go. From the first week, you're working on real production code, viewing real issues and problems, and developing real solutions. From a new recruit working on new features and solutions, developing my skills over the years to building completely new solutions and leading my own team, it's been really fulfilling over the years.
All right, so you heard from Anna Kay earlier. She is she was an intern, and now she is at MC Systems. And you just heard from Kyle, who was also an intern and is now at MC Systems. Just a reminder that the Microsoft Leap as a Service is not truly an internship program. It's more of an apprenticeship program, and there's opportunity to be employed with MC Systems after you complete this Microsoft Leap as a Service program. Note as well that the program details are available online. We'll have a team member go ahead and drop the link in the chat. All the information that you want will be there, all the details. There's a Q&A, there's a breakdown, and there's also an email address, just in case you have any questions that you can send your emails to. Now, again, we are live across 2 platforms. I believe we're both on Zoom and YouTube. So if you didn't really catch everything live, we should be able to send the link so that more persons can see and tune in. All right. And again, if you have a friend who you know is very good at computer development or computer software engineering and all of the technical stuff, we want you to share it to them. All right. So just gonna close off by inviting just some closing words from our panelists here. I'll start off with you, Yolanda, just to give some closing thoughts on the experience that is about to unfold for our participants and what it means for you and your team.
Well, we're excited to come to Jamaica. Again, I'm from a local neighboring island, so it's near and dear to me, being a Caribbean. So I am looking forward. I will be in Jamaica when we launch, so I'm really excited to meet a lot of the panelists that are on this on this meeting today. But moreover, I want to encourage you to continue to go to our website and check out the requirements and apply. And again, that one more thing, the resume is great to have. It tells me about your background in the projects. Don't forget to give us your repository, but equally as important, showcase your passion and your drive and that natural curiosity that you've had, because that's some of the assets and some of the skills we're also looking for. We wish you the best of luck, whether you are through the program or however you're going to further your careers. So best of luck to you.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you so much. Anna Kay, any closing thoughts from you?
So we're here to welcome all the applicants that get through, and we're looking forward to working with you.
Awesome. And again, guys, remember that Anna Kay has all the tea, right? So you can check out her when you actually do get on board. All right. Kat, any final words from you?
Let's get mad.
I love it. Let's get mad, making a difference, right? And Nathaniel.
Yes, definitely. As Yolanda said, I want each and everyone to take the leap, right? And what definitely also, Jen, we'll help you find a way.
Awesome. I like it. I like it. So we're helping you to find a way. We're inviting you to get mad, and we're taking the leap. So many sound bites from this evening session. We're loving it, right? But just before we sign off, want to acknowledge again our JN Circle Network and the JN Foundation, and that whatever project that you work on would be based about social tech. We're supporting projects that look at social challenges, and Microsoft Leap as a Service participants, in partnership with MC Systems, they will be tasked to create concepts for an innovative solution. Again, it's related to social tech, and we're excited to see what those ideas are and what those thoughts will be. We are very happy to share in this conversation today, and we're inviting you to get on board, send your application in. Again, if you know someone who has completed a boot camp, completed a course, and again, remember the courses can also be free courses online, right? We're inviting them to go ahead and apply. I've dropped an email address in the chat, leapinfo@microsoft.com. If you have any questions, if you are unsure about something regarding the application, you can go ahead and contact the team, and you can also visit leap.microsoft.com. That's where you find the application details and all of the FAQs and everything. Now, I am not seeing where we have any other question in the chat. Let me just go back just to be sure. Yes, wanted to point out another note that I just got here, that you should also visit the MC Systems website. Now, I have just included that in the chat. So it's www.mcsystems.com, and you can also check out the JN Group Zoho Recruit site that lists all our vacancies across the JN Group. So if it's MC Systems they want to work, once they have an opening, it will be on Zoho Recruit for the JN Group page, right? And if it's the bank, if it's anywhere across the JN Group, you can go ahead and check out that site. I've included both of those links in the chat. And just to note as well, or to reiterate, that while these are not sponsored by Microsoft or MC Systems, the team has made mention that LEET code, LEETCODE, I'm dropping those in the chat as well, LEETCODE and PRAMP, PRAMP.com have been helpful when it comes on to engineering trainings and so on, right? So we want to bring those points across. And that is it. Thank you so much for tuning in and for joining us this afternoon, this evening. We will close off by sharing with you just a little bit of the MC Systems story and the MC Systems journey. So we look forward to receiving those applications before Tuesday, June 27th. We love to get those applications in. And again, tune in across our social media pages to MC Systems or Management Control Systems across the pages, and Microsoft Leap that is on LinkedIn. Yes. We want to thank our panelists. We want to thank Yolanda Natal Santos, Kathleen Chinsey, Anna K. Jones, Nathaniel Nation, and to also thank Mr. Dwayne Russell, who spoke earlier and who brought greetings on behalf of MC Systems. Again, mentioning to our JN Foundation General Manager, Ms. Claudine Allen, and our JN Foundation team, our marketing team. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and being a part of this experience. Thanks again, everyone.